Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, P Funk. Thinking right out here in the lab where I do what I do for you. I'm finishing up the lesson I just gave you. This is part two, so let's get it going. Rightism, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. There's a message in the story for life. I give life lessons. You tune in to receive them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's do what we do. Right thinkers mission, and that's what I'm on, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you and all individuals to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinkers' way of life through mental and spiritual discipline practice daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is that all right thinkers know thyself. Right thinkers, your goal is to know thyself. See where we're going with this? Let's get it together. So I asked the question, do you know you? It's rhetorical, but if you know how to answer for yourself, tune in. I can help you with that. That's what I do for you. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. Too many knots in there. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple, but you can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous, avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself. And to my yacht, be true. I'm back with your boy Seth again. I'm going to break it down for you again because Seth wasn't the bad guy, but he took a turn. How about that? Sound familiar? Right thinkers, let's talk about Seth is not all bad. Just not so smart, okay? But he is a fighter. I'll call him the honey badger of the spiritual world. Or the God and goddesses. Watch this. So let's talk about Seth, the ancient Egyptian god Seth. We call him Satan, the devil. We didn't have a devil concept. Ancients. And that brings us to this Set character. Let's talk about it right quick. I hope you get a better understanding of Set, because it's you, your lower self. He represents, notice that unlike Haru, who is related to the avian quality, Set is related to the four-legged. Haru related to the wing. You see me doing this? That means he can take flight. He can ascend. He can come down here and he can rise above. Set, on the other hand, can't rise. He stays here. Hence, this is his domain. You know it to be hell. This is the physical world. This is the lowest of the lows. This is the grossest form of man. So this is the fall from spirit to matter conceptually. But they understood that. So let me break down the Set concept. Set is related to the four-legged animal. So he is earth-bound. The Bible says what? Basic instruction what? Before leaving earth. We can't stay here on earth. It wasn't meant for that. And thus related to what? The heavier elements like earth, you got metal, stone, etc. Things that stay here. As opposed to who? Haru, which is your higher self, who can what? Take flight. And thus capable of living on earth, again, but also attaining communion with the air and fire. So this means that Set represents what is gross, while Haru represents the capacity to what? Operate in the gross as well as in the subtle. Following this metaphor, what? The human body and its name are the grosser aspect of your personality, while the Ba, which is represented by a bird, and your soul, and also your Ak, which is represented by another bird. Okay, wow. Ascension. The hawk, the ibis bird, everybody had wings to ascend. That's the metaphor, that's the concept, okay? And the spirit are what? The subtler aspects of your character. As we said earlier, Set, aka, is egoism. Not ego per se. Watch this. Although he does have an aspect of your ego, which is the I, the me, the selfish, all those negative qualities. That's what Set represents. Understand that. Now, the ego is just your projection of what? Your idea of who? Yourself. You think you are who you are. Me. I'm Mark. Yeah, that's the name you give us to you, Father. That's the ego speaking. Your higher self is hidden. You have to find, you got to go and search. You got to raise your conscious level to find who you really are. That's why. And what you know of yourself, the ego don't know nothing of itself. That's all it knows is itself. It don't know God. Hence, edge God out. As a limited being, your ego is only limited to the human form. And that is your ego. Thank you. You. That ego is the image of what? Yourself, where? In time and space, right here in the physical form. And because of the ignorance of you, as well as your what you know of yourself is a limited being. That's the ego self. That's your ego. And that ego is what? The image of yourself in time and space, physical form. And what? The ignorant as well as the wise have egos. Whether you know or you don't know, you still have an ego. Simple as that. Well, that don't make a difference. If you're ignorant of it, that don't mean you don't have it. Again, learn, understand, and know. Ignorant don't mean you're dumb or stupid. Ignorant just means not to know. I'm ignorant of a whole host of stuff. Not myself. So I'm big on that. And the question is, what is egoism? Good question. Let me see if I can answer that for you right quick. When you live in a state of ignorance, that means you're constantly doing things that you don't know what you're doing because you're ignorant about your higher self. You don't know of your other aspect, aka your higher self. The ego has edged your higher self out, which is God. The ego is on its own. Your transcendental aspect, the ego don't have a clue. You, if you're ignorant, don't have a clue to you or who you are. That's the problem with most human beings, and that's not a problem unless you don't take care of it. If you go through life like a caterpillar, you're supposed to change to a butterfly at a certain point in time. You come into the world ignorant, you're born ignorant, but you're supposed to obtain knowledge and wisdom at a certain point in time. See where I'm going with that? Hope you understand it. But that's my whole point, to get you to understand how to live your life on your terms. If you become egoistic, and most of us are, and if you are successful with that ego in whatever field that you endeavor to take in, Mo Man was a hustler. His field was fast talking, slick, moving, and grooving. He mastered that, and that's what he did. Okay, I did some of that in early life, and yeah, okay, moving on. But yeah, that's where I got it from. I was taught that. I didn't know. It was given to me. And you start living as if what? This is the only reality. Got to get mine. I got to do. The more I got, the more I wanted. That's greed. I was ignorant of it then. $100,000, I want 200,000. Moving on. And in a way such that what? You should, all you do is seek pleasures of the flesh and to satisfy your own personal desires. I like counting money. I like getting high, and I like doing what I like to do. That was my life for years. Selfishness. I was selfish. Nepotism. You family. You was good. Only person who was good in my world was my family. I looked out for family. So if you want to be just because, be family. Why? Then I'm going to hook you up. If you ain't family, I ain't messing with you. Simple. And all of those kinds of things. I did a bunch of wrong things. Okay? And that's egoism. Again, knowingly, intentionally, willingly doing them things. So what comes with that? Consequences of your actions. Again. And Set represents what? Really both of those, ego and egoism. The ego thinks and the egoism acts. So if you follow that, then you're going to do certain things. And that's the proof. Now, the mother of Set was New, heaven. My mother to me is heaven. His father's Geb, earth. Father, same thing, concept. And in the beginning, watch this. Set was a servant of Raz. Sound familiar? The angel Lucifer, when he's God's main boy, he was the angelic, all that good stuff I said about him, and then he fell. And watch this. Set was a servant of Ra. His energy was what? In the service of the Pa'ute. They needed his energy. Why? He was a fighter. Set ain't backing down. That's every person got Set in them. When they get backed into a corner, when the situation get where they got now Set is about to come out. The smallest animal will raise up when they got nothing else left. That's Set. That's the ego. That's the fight that's in you. Like you say, it ain't the size of the dog in the fight. It's the size of the fight that's in you. Okay? And we all have a big fight in us, whether you believe it or not, whether you know it or not. Again, we all have ego. The ego is the fight that's in you. That's the dog. And he is known as the what? Pahu, or the Pa, P-E-H, and that means strength. And because they call it Pa-T, that means P-H-P-E-H-T-I, that means double strength. Set was twice as strong as all the other gods. Why? He did the fighting. He is the twofold strength. The one Ah means great, and he uses his strength to what? To move the boat of Ra. The boat of Ra moves through the sky as the sun dips in the day, and it shines, and in doing so, it serves the needs by sustaining life on earth. If that thing don't shine, we done. That's God's begotten son, the only one. He ain't got no other son but that one. And he pushes what? Cloud. Set job is to push the clouds out the way and push the rain aside. So Set was a great and powerful force of what? Good. Oh, you said Set? Well, I just told you. I'm trying to bring you up to speed to let you understand. Lucifer, before he was the devil, was what? God's right-hand man. Set was God's right-hand man. And he sustained life. But what happened? Something happened. What happened? The human part, the ego part took control. Why? Because in the Saria story, the Saria myth, his brother, Set was told that he became what? Jealous of who? His brother. Now, there's a few stories, and I got a few minutes. Let me tell you a story. If you and your brother, y'all got your wives, he had Nephet, Saw had Aset. Everything's cool. But Aset and Nephet looked exactly alike. And it was said since the ego Set can't reproduce, Nephet wanted a son. See where we going with this? So, unbeknownst to nobody else, but Nephet and Aset was like this. And Aset wanted to help her sister, so she said, you dress up as me, you go in and y'all do your thing. That's one of the other stories, how it happened. Got a few twists and turns to it. I want to keep it clean. So she offered up surrogate motherhood. How about that? Okay, simple as that. She went, I saw, didn't know the difference because they looked alike, so he did business as usual. Look around, he got his son. From who? When? Okay, but the word got out. He can't keep it secret. So Set know that he had his tubes cut. He got a vasectomy, right? Because in the fight against Haru, he got his nuts cut off. So he castrated, so he can't make no baby. He can't produce. He can't reproduce. If your wife have a baby and you know you the father and your brother the father, your son is your nephew. Sorry. We bring these characters to life and we gave them the scenario. This is just a story. And I wanted to let it be known that I love the concept because you can do it a few kinds of ways. I want to do it the nice way. So yeah, she let Nephet had a baby by Asar. So Asar has a bastard son, which is Anubis. He represents your discernment. Okay? That's who he is. He's Haru's big brother, all right? But that's how it was done. There's a few different stories, but we can go over that right now. Let me get back to the lesson. I'm almost home. And then what happened? Because of his brother making his wife pregnant, he got jealous, wouldn't you think? And then he what? Murdered. And he wanted to take his place. All right, I showed him. So he built the coffin, got his measurements, sucked them into a big party. Now, what kind of party? Everybody around, and the big thing of the party is the damn casket. Nobody saw that one coming. And when everybody fit in, if it fit you perfect, it was tailor-made for Asar. So he's sitting on the throne, everybody go in the casket, so I had to go. Let me try it out. Yeah, no, sure. When he got in that casket, party was over for him. Okay, he got done. He got duped by his brother. He was unaware of that situation. He wasn't, somebody went to sleep at the wheel. So he casket, put him in the ocean, put him in the Nile River, he floated down. You know the story, but that's what happened to Set, the eagle. That's what to build up the story for the eagle. And then he murdered Asar and took what? The throne. And assumed the throne of Kemet. Like your boy, the worst leader ever. I'm just saying, again, not stretching, just use that as an example. Educational purposes. This guy was the president, the worst president in history. But he bragged and said that he was the best. That's delusional. Okay, but the concept is with the king. When Asar got killed, Set took over. And because he don't know nothing about nothing, he didn't do a good job. Sound familiar? And he no longer assisted in the boat of Ra. He just said, blew Ra off, okay? And he actually fought against Ra. He became one of the bad guys. And he wanted to promote what? Gloom and Doom, Apophis. We ain't talked about him yet. But he's the original dark keeper. Him and Ra don't get along. His job is to stop Ra from shining every day. This has been going on since the beginning of time. Another story, but that's the concept. And since Set was upset with Asar, his brother, he mad with Ra too. So he teamed up with Apophis, the bad guy. And he brought doom and gloom, cloud and rain, storms, everything was bad. And this is what Set represents. Coldness, opacity, ignorance, jealousy, envy, nothing good, okay? Because once he went bad, good off the table, okay? Now, all the fight that's in him is for what? For bad. That's what happens when a good person turn bad. Oh, that's not a good person that you want to deal with. Why? Oh, hell have no fury like a woman scorned. If you piss off a woman, mess with her child, you already know. Why? We got plenty of examples of that one, okay? But let's talk about the force of entropy right quick. This is what I'm trying to show you, what I want to get to, okay? See the boat right there? That's the boat that Ra is on going through the underworld at night, okay? You see, that's the one fighting. They're not on water. You see the thing that the boat is on? That's a serpent. That's Apophis, okay? And his job is to keep Ra from shining. And see, Ra got his boys. You see Haru back there, the hawk-headed one. You see Tahuti back there, the ibis-headed bird. And Ra sitting with the sun disk on his head. And who's the one that's fighting? Ain't but one fighting in the fight. That's Set. The Netarian religion, watch this. There is no concept of evil as a conceptualized in the Western culture. Rather, it is understood that the forces of entropy are constantly working in nature to what? To bring that which has been constructed down. That which has been made into form to be back to what? Original nature. Undifferentiated matter. He wants to go back to the noon. Apophis liked it when it was nothing. Possibility, chaos in the noon, that's what he loved. That's what he wanted. So the fight with Ra, with the sun, daylight against darkness. The serpent Apophis, who daily tries to stop Ra. They say daily, but night, really is night underneath the word. He's leaving us. He going on to fight against Apophis in the underworld. And he tried to stop Ra's boat of creation as in the primary symbol of entropy. This concept of entropy has been referred to what? As chaos by the Western Egyptologists. However, again, they always misinterpret. The term entropy is more accurate reading of the teachings. Set protects the boat of Ra from the forces of entropy. Now, Apep is what entropy is. And expressed what previously in the Netarian religion, there is also no concept of the devil. Nope. Or a demon, as conceived in the Judean, Christian, and Islamic traditions. Y'all created this heaven and hell devil concept. Understand that. Moving on. Rather, it is understood from the ancients that the manifestation of detrimental situations and adversities arise as a result of what? Your unrighteous actions That's karma and their consequences of said unrighteous actions. We've all done something wrong, and we all have to pay the price for it. That's karma. You're going to get it. In adverse, it don't make a difference. You're going to get it. Like Luke Costello told Abbott when they boxed him. You give him your 1-3. He said 1-3. See what happened to the 2? He said, oh, you'll get that. If you giving something out, trust the fact you're going to get something in return. And if it's not bad going out, if it's not good going out, it won't be bad coming in. Be careful. And this, watch this, these unrighteous actions by every individual are due to what? You ready? Satanian. Setian. Not Satanian, S-A-T. No, Set is the ego self. We had that. Y'all created this other Satan God, okay? But these are the qualities that make him Set, the ego of human beings. Set is the divinity of egoism, and that is the negative qualities which arise from egoism. Egoism may also be defined as what? The idea of identity, individuality, and is based on identification with what? The physical body and the mind only as being what? Who is one. One has no deeper awareness of their deeper spiritual essence. That's the ego self. All it knows is itself, and thus no understanding of what? Their connectedness to all other objects, including human beings. Spiritual beings having a human connection, having a human experience. We're all related. We all come from the same person. And from creation of the divine self. We all are divine beings, spiritually, having a human experience. We ignorant of who we are. Our job as human beings is to find out or to know thyself. Moving on. So when the ego, again, is under the control of the higher nature, meaning you got him in the service mode, that's what he's doing. He will fight off ego and give it all he got. He's fighting off the guy that he teamed up with when he was mad. When he came back into the fold, he went back to his original job. Haru said, look, you go back away from my dad. Okay, you know the deal. And it fights what? The forces of entropy above true evil. However, when beset with ignorance, meaning don't know himself, it will lead what? To the degraded states of human existence. You will be a P. Diddy. You will do not good things. Simple as that. The vice, egoism, which is, you ready? Egoism, selfishness, extravagantness, extrovertedness, wanting, sexual lust, jealousy, envy, greed, gluttony, etc. These are all qualities that your boy did exhibit. Nothing new. Oh, he's the devil. Okay, he's set. Again, I try to make the comparison to show you the same thing. But as a result, what? So the principle of Set is not inherently evil. He ain't bad by nature. He's just not good or bad. But when ignorance takes over that personality, meaning it's not enlightened, it's rough around the edges, it's going to have problems. And what? It forgets its true self. The ego don't have a clue who it is. So it should not be running the show. But you put him in a service position, watch this. It can turn, watch this. It can turn to egoism, selfishness, and greed. We know people with those qualities. That's what they are. And you can call it any other name, but when they exhibit those qualities, as a psychiatrist, if it walks like a duck, what is a duck? Okay? And those are what? The causes, what? Of the bad things that people can do to reach to each other. The world, again, the world and themselves. An egotistical person will destroy the world. Sound familiar? We are to turn that force of ego, of Set, around and what? Place it where? In the service of Ra, our highest self. How? By using it to fight off the true egoism and the negative desires of your lower nature self. In that way, we now will succeed on the path of the psycho-mythological journey of life. You have to become mentally competent. A lot of us are mentally ill. I hate to say that, but yeah, wrapping it up. This is the last part. Now, since Set was originally the divinity of power, okay, he was, okay, employed that the power to assist the divine, which is God, Ra, in his boat nightly against Apophis, who lost his way. Sound familiar? And was subdued by what? His lower nature himself. He is not seen as a divinity of evil. No, no, no. Like the devil. No, no. In the Western religion. Rather, he is a redeemed character. Sound like me. Watch this. A personality that lost his way and was brought back to the path of truth by his higher self. There is proof that Set's name is used in ancient Egyptians, most prominently, watch this, the pharaoh Seti the first. Set, he took the name Set, and it means Seti, Mer, and Ptah. It means King Seti, beloved by Ptah. So again, we'll finish reading and wrap it up. Seti, or Ua, means one, okay, the first. And who had the name of Set incorporated into his own, okay? You don't put the devil, or maybe some people do, but you don't create the devil and make him, God. So this could not have occurred. Why? Because if Set was considered to be a bad personality of evil, he was and is a beneficial personality when what? Properly mastered. Your ego has to be mastered and controlled as outlined here. He therefore now is what? The metaphor for what? All who have it at some point, what? Lost their way, made a bad decision, did something they may regret, or who have moved away from what? The divine. Some people fall out of grace with the church or somebody at church and stop worshiping God. God ain't in the damn church, excuse me. But yeah, they take it out on God. When people upset you, they got nothing to do with God. Moving on, they just representations of God. Some of them, they do a bad job. But when you step away from the divine for whatever reason, now you can what? You can regain your standards by what? Allowing Haru, your higher self, within you to what? Now fight for what? Order and truth. In so doing, you, the aspirant right thinker, now can what? Redeem your father Asar within you and thus attain higher consciousness, knowledge of self, spiritual enlightenment, nihas, Christhood, Horushood, anointed, all those things. That's what you are able to do if you change over. Just like Set. As Set in the important divinity, as Set is one of the most important divinity we have discussed about him in previous lessons. He's always going to be around, and we will discuss more about him. But right now, we discuss Set more in the future. But that's the lesson about Set. He wasn't always the bad guy. He fell and got back on the boat, okay? Literally, okay? That's the lesson. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you got the message. I try to show you Set. And what we do for our lower self, that's selfish. What we do for other people, our higher self, that's godly. That's all. Moving on. And in closing, right thinkers, may y'all live to be 100 minus a day. So I never know that right thinkers like you have passed away. I'll be back with more lessons. You know the deal.